Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Bette McCarthy. I'm chair of the Barnstable Old Kings Highway Historic District Committee. And I'd like to call this meeting to order this evening. This meeting is being recorded and broadcast on the Town of Barnstable, the Government Access Channel. And in accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 20, the chair must inquire if anyone else is recording this meeting, and if so, you have to identify yourself. Okay, I guess that's not a problem. All right. Well, to all persons deemed interested or affected by the Town of Barnstable Old Kings Highway Historic District Act under Section 9 of Chapter 470, Acts of 1973, as amended, you are hereby notified that a hearing will be held tonight on the applications listed on the agenda for September 13th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. And we'd like to remind all applicants and audience members that we are an elected volunteer committee following the guidelines of the Town of Barnstable Old Kings Highway Historic District Act. Any applicant or interested party who is aggrieved by any of the decisions of the committee tonight, they have a right to appeal the decision to the Old Kings Highway Regional Historic Commission. We ask that this evening's proceedings, that cell phones be turned off and conversations other than those before the committee take place outside of this meeting. When an applicant is called, we ask that the applicant and all interested parties identify themselves. And lastly, as a best practice for meetings held remotely, we may not be able to visibly identify who's speaking. So we ask all committee members and all participants to identify themselves before making any motion or comments. Online audience members, pardon me, wishing to participate during the public comment section can use the raised hand button to notify the chair. Dial-in audience members can press, to be part of the hearing, can press *9 on their phones to notify the chair. All participants will be muted and you must be recognized by the chair in order to participate. So our first order of business tonight is to do a roll call vote of the committee. So George Jessup. All right, because George is not present. Brian Caholen.
Here.
Okay, thank you, Brian. Leslie Wallace.
Here.
Okay, thank you. And Wendy Schuck.
Here.
Great, thank you. And we have a quorum. So I'm going to read the first application, and it's for Jeffrey Belzankian and Turtle Rock LLC, 3225 Main Street, Barnstable, map 299, parcel 022, built in 1960, to replace 58 windows in existing openings. Existing windows were installed in 1983 with seals broken and no longer energy efficient. The new windows will be 6/6 and will conform to surrounding buildings. All right, may we have a motion to open a public hearing?
Yes, this is Wendy Schuck, and I move to open the public hearing.
Ryan Caholen, I'll second.
Thank you. And a roll call vote. Wendy Schuck,
Aye.
Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Brian Caholen,
Aye.
and Bette McCarthy, aye. So would the applicant like to discuss the project for 3225 Main Street? Is the applicant or their representative available?
I don't, this is Erica Brown. I do not see a applicant present to speak to this project. Do we want to move this to the end of the meeting? So if they do join, they can talk about it?
Yes, I think that's advisable to do that. So do we need a motion to do that?
I would take a motion just to be on the safe side.
Just
Okay.
to put it
To
on
continue.
the end of the agenda, a motion
Yes.
for that, yeah. Okay, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to push the item for Jeffrey Belzikian and Turtle
I'm
Rock.
sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I'm on my phone. I thought the meeting was in person, so I'm not used to using my phone. I apologize. But the windows there are dated and they just need to be replaced. So this is the most reasonable solution that we could find.
Okay. Wendy, would you like to comment regarding this application?
yeah, just a couple comments. So currently the windows, I think, are 12/12, and you're gonna be replacing with 6/6, is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, and I think that's appropriate, because some of the surrounding buildings, they are 6/6. It's not an old building, it was built, in 1960. I think it'll look appropriate for the area. I think it's appropriate for the style of the building. So I'm good with it.
Thank you.
Leslie, would you like to comment
I'm
regarding
good
this?
with it too. I think 6/6 will look good.
Okay, thank you. Ryan, would you like to comment?
My comments are minimal. I think it's appropriate.
Thank you. I have a question in general. We prefer to have the windows that face 6A have exterior grills on them. And I wasn't sure, I did not see that on the application, if just those windows facing 6A could have exterior grills. Would that be,
I can look into this. We've already went into the project. We didn't want to lose opportunity to get that order placed, but I can check.
okay,
So these are not divided light windows, no? I thought they were, maybe.
Yeah, I did too.
They're divided lights. I just don't know if they're inside or outside. I think we're just trying to go for the most was either economical and energy efficient.
So I think divided light is usually the grill, it's on the outside, I think. Am I correct on that?
divided light.
They're divided. I can't remember if it was on the outside or not.
That doesn't say.
No, it does not say that.
Okay.
That's not checked off. But in general, almost invariably, every project that we have with window replacements for the buildings that face 6A, we would like just those windows in the front to have exterior
Okay.
grills.
Okay, we can do that.
Okay, great. All right, thank you for that. And then maybe then have a motion to, is there anybody in the public wishing to comment on that? Do you know if anybody's?
Chair, this is Erica. I don't see anyone raising their hand to speak to this item at this time.
Okay. So then we need a motion to close the public hearing part of this
Before we do that,
application.
Ryan Caholden, one follow-on comment. The buildings to the left of the right, I mean, do they have exterior grills or are they interior? What, do we know what's on there? And I only raise that up because I am blissfully aware of the lead times that are associated with windows right now. So coming
I
into
mean, I know that
I would hate to disincentivize.
we did order them like
someone
kind.
getting their property over something that, quite
We
frankly,
did order them like-
way you can't tell.
Okay. Yeah, we ordered like kind to match what was there. That's the best I can tell you.
Okay. I'm just trying to imagine what the motion is going to look like. Is it going to require exterior, or would we accept what's being proposed?
I would
Well, I
prefer
think on the-
exterior, yeah. I would prefer exterior, and I think they are exterior now. I think the grills are, according to the picture.
I don't believe they are.
No,
No.
Erica, can you bring the picture up again of, let's take another look at that. Yeah, it's hard to tell, isn't it? I
Yeah,
did drive by there today too, and I just don't remember.
You can also try to bring up the street view from Google Maps, see if that gives any better indication of the surrounding buildings.
I
If
think
memory
if
serves, I think they're
if-
all
if-
they're all interior near there.
I think if the applicant is willing to use the exterior grills just for the front-facing windows, I think then we would be consistent with what we're expecting for all parties doing that.
Yeah, and I've said we would.
That's great. Okay. So do we need a motion to close the public hearing, Bet?
Yes, please. Thank you, Wendy.
Yep, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to close the public hearing.
Leslie
Make-
Wallace, second.
Thank you. And a roll call vote on that. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
Beth McCarthy, aye. All right. And now may we have a motion to approve this application?
Sure, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to approve the certificate of appropriateness application for Jeffrey Balzikian and Turtle Rock LLC, 3225 Main Street, Barnstable, map 299, parcel 022, built 1960, as submitted with one modification to have exterior grills on the windows facing Route 6A.
Second,
Alright.
Leslie Wallace.
And a roll call vote on that. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy, aye. So your project is approved and just with that one minor modification. So thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank
you very much.
Okay. All right, well, our next application is for Jim Hempstead of 11 Freezer Road, Barnstable, map 300, parcel 013, built in 1985. To demo the existing structure, the foundation will remain, construct a new 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath home on existing 1,340 square feet foundation, and adding 1,340 square feet on the second floor for a total of 2,680 square feet. modifications to the existing garage, a new front shed dormer, windows, an extension of the rear deck with new side stairs. No change to the garage footprint. All right,
Okay,
I think we need a motion to open the public hearing first.
Yep. This is Wendy Shuck, and I move to open the public hearing.
Leslie Wallace, second.
And a roll call vote. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Brian Caholen,
I,
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
and Bette McCarthy, aye. So now would the applicant like to discuss their project?
oh, sure, okay, I'll jump in now. So my name's Bob Urell, I'm the architectural designer. So as you said, the house was built in 85. It was at that time a passive solar type of house they were building all over the Cape and areas. You could see in the back in that shop, you stop right there, you can see the solarium, which was allowed to let heat in, all the skylights, very 80s. So the new project is basically creating kind of like a really eclectic type of architectural house, shingle styled. You know, you can see that's the elevation to come up to the driveway. The house is set almost 200 feet back from the road. You can't see the house from the road. You can't even see the garage from the road. You see a little bit of the garage. That's the front elevation. The next shot is the left side elevation, where the solarium is. Now, if you leave that shot there, you can see that what we're doing is there was a walkout there. We're actually raising that grade up and filling in the foundation there to prevent water, because we had a little bit of a water issue there, to have that water so it pitches away from the house naturally. And then the next elevation is the right side elevation, which has a screen porch and a little balcony deck tucked in. And then the last elevation is the rear elevation, which is like a salt box carriage shed style with the deck. Now the deck is exactly in the same location around the house it is now. Same footprint. The piers will be replaced, but they're in the exact same location that they are. So we're trying to keep the same footprint and just coming up with something to go up to give them more space. Because right now they have a vaulted, big 19, 20-foot vaulted living room where all the heat just goes up and is just wasted space. It's nothing, a little loft upstairs. So to allow them to have a home to be able to have their family in it. You know, right now it's small. The garage, you can see the garage that's the front of the garage, which is to the right of the house when you come in. You can see it's in pretty tough shape. The new garage and the shed dormer, you can see, there you go, thank you. Some new carriage doors. Going to bring the carriage doors up a little taller than they are now. I'm adding a roof there with brackets, stepping that dormer in so they can utilize that space, because the pitch now, it's not functionable in that front corner. The stairs on the side are in the same location. Just going to get rebuilt. And there's new doors. We're putting in a new window. It states there on that side. And then on the other side, there is going to be possibly another set of stairs, but may not be, which is the last elevation there. But probably not going to be doing that set of stairs, possibly just taking that out. It was kind of, we put it in for now. It's where the trees are. You can't see it from the road, but it was giving them another way to come up and down for traffic. When people are coming up, if they're using it for office or ping pong room, when kids are going up there, they can come up and down easy. It's like a rec room. So, the back elevation, basically pretty much the same. The windows, just for you guys to answer. So the windows are all Anderson 400. We use the same windows on all of our projects in town, in Barnstable. They're all simulated divided light with spacer bar, which means you have the applied exterior, the space between the glass, and the applied interior. So those are going to be, so it looks like true divided light on the windows. So even though the house is set way back, we're still doing that. So that's on the house. There's a little storage locker underneath the deck, basically for trash. So,
Okay.
All right,
Mm.
thank you.
Okay.
Let's see if we have committee comments regarding it. Brian, would you like to comment on this home and also the garage?
Did I get so the garage, can we get that elevation back?
Hmm.
There we go. And do we have a site plan just to show where that's situated?
Yes, it does. There's a plan up, down, right there. You can zoom in on that. You can see it. There you go. So you come up the driveway, you can see how far, you bring it down a little bit, or you can see how far back the road is, Freezer Road. But it's situated to the right there. There's trees, vegetation all around that. You only can see a little bit of the roof, the gable end of the roof through the trees. It's pretty
You're
thick.
proposing to leave that full buffer between the street?
Yes, we're not touching anything on our clients love natural vegetation and that look. No grass. This is all going to be conservation plantings. Low maintenance, natural, whatever's natural for the mitigation for that property. They're trying to put back in areas where it was taken up by the old owners of the property. So they're trying to, make sure that's done. There's an old octagon deck you can see was removed. It's in the pictures at the top of the house. You can see there. They're taking that out. You go back to the pictures. Can you see it in the photos? Maybe you don't see it in the photo. It's up. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it in the photos, but yeah, there it is right there.
You can see it pretty good from the Google Earth image too.
Yeah. So right there. So that part is coming out. So that's will be all natural in there. But it's being kept very natural. There's gonna be no sod lawns, no, nothing like that. It's gonna be a very natural landscape.
And natural weathered shingle.
Yeah, so basically the exterior is going to be white cedar, white cedar. Well, now it's a B. You just can't get an A anymore because if you're a builder, I'm sure you know that. But it's going to be natural. The sash of black. The trim is going to be probably a soft gray, like a dove gray or some shade of gray. So the whole idea is to make this look very old. That's what they're looking for, that really old feel, not the crisp white trim like you see in a lot of the things. So like a gray with a black on it and natural. And it's woven corners, weaved corners, lace corners. So no corner boards, vertical lines going up on there. So it's kind of.
I can't help to ask when I look at the original structure that there's no casement windows in the new design.
No, they're all double hung windows. Right. Double hung awning. I never use casement.
Every time I see that finish and that vintage, all I think of is casement windows.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of casements in this house now. You can see in the photograph.
Not a doubt in my mind.
Yeah, so it's a lot of glass, and the whole idea is take it from that 80s and give it like that kind of like that old feeling. Like, we think it has a really nice thing. It's got like a French tip stair in the front there when you're coming up, and and again, it's just gonna have a simple walkway, and again, all natural vegetation and plantings in there. That's the key.
And the very peak of the highest point, we're at 29.6 plus 6. Any type of finish on the roof.
Architectural, the roof's going to just be like a Landmark Pro architectural shingle. Probably, I think I have a pewter wood or something like that. So it's going to be like a very kind of natural looking color. Again, it's very simplistic there. It's tucked in, just giving them a little bit more, that feel there. But yeah, no, it's nothing. We're not doing like a wood roof. It's going to be architectural shingle, but just kind of monotone. If you look at our other house we have one up on Hyannis Ave, Hyannis Road, coming off the light, going up there. That has white trim on it, of course, but it's that kind of look, shingled look, that style, broken lines, a lot of like broken lines in the design to kind of give it that old feeling. That's kind of like the idea,
And my last question, the windows at the very top there, are those accessible from inside? Is that all open on the inside?
That is, there is a, yes, it's up there, those are awning, they'll crank out, but they don't crank to that casement. Okay. So they can crack it up so that they can get natural. It's an energy efficient house. It's going to have a
get the ventilation to come out the roof.
Yeah, so basically, again, not passive solar, but they'll let that heat out. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I have any other questions. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Leslie, do you have any comments regarding?
What is the pitch at the highest? The height of it at the highest?
So the main roof pitch,
Yeah,
which is if you look at the plan view, you see the main roof pitch is at 29.6. The
okay,
turret comes up is 12 by 12, or
Yeah.
that little, and that comes up an additional 6 feet with a
Okay.
3.5 pitch on the
that's
roof.
what I couldn't read. Okay,
Okay,
so,
yeah.
all right. So it's more or less 30 feet is what the main house is.
Basically
and-
29.6, under 30,
Yeah,
yes,
and
the
then
main
the
house,
6
right.
foot,
Mhm,
yeah,
right.
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I like the stairs. It's all right by me.
Okay.
Well, they're friendship stairs, so it's a friendly way to come up to somebody's
Yeah,
door.
I like
That's what they
that
call it.
on Main Street,
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
village.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's attractive. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Thanks, Leslie. Wendy, how about you? What are your comments?
Yeah, a couple questions. So do you know like how much taller this building is and what's there existing?
The existing building probably has, it's a cape with a roof. It's probably at about I would say maybe 20, I bet you it's about 22, 23 feet from the
Mhm.
ridge. It's a steep, from
Yeah,
there, 23 feet.
so it's quite a
No.
bit taller. I just worry, even though it's set back, like you don't want to have something kind of sticking out of the woods and seeing a tower there. Yeah, I struggle with this one a little bit because it's a very historic area. There's historic buildings all around. This isn't really historic looking. However, it is set back and you can't see it well. And I do think it is miles and miles more attractive than what's there today.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Well,
So
it has historical, if you look at the lines of the building, I know it's a little bit, when you're looking at it, but it's drawn by hand, because if that was drawn in CAD, it would just look one-dimensional. There's some depth to it, but the lines and the pitches are all in the sheds, the different things that are in there, the break lines in the back, goes back to the salt box style. There's a lot of lines, architectural lines in there. And if you, like you said before, I think one of you mentioned, the whole area, there are older houses, but there's some really cool eclectic styles of architecture that are up going down the drag to the water there, and some different things. So it kind of is unique, but it's also going to weather in. You know what I mean? We're talking all natural. Those shingles are all going to be grayed and silvered and get dark, and it's supposed to kind of, again, look old. That's the whole idea here. Do that. So
yeah. I mean, it's not old like the capes that you see down there, but I do appreciate you can't really see it from the road, and again I do think it's much more attractive. I am a little concerned about the height of it.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
concerns me a little bit.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit taller than what's there today, right?
well, it is, but if you had a standard 2-floor colonial, if that was just a standard 2-floor colonial at 29.6, I have a house on Hyannis Road that has a carriage house and a house there, same ridge height is what that is. It is a turret, but that we did that in such a way to keep it tight. I mean, there is another property on Mill Way down the street from there, much more visible, much more, you come around the corner, that has a huge, almost like a lighthouse type of structure on the side with a curved dome on the top. This is much more monotone, and the idea is really to really try to get that heat out of there and try to do that. And again, it's only in a 12 by 12 area where that is, to do that.
In my mind, when I look at picture 2 onto the left side of the screen, and I look at the existing, the taller ridge line that's there.
Yeah.
I have to venture to say, without measuring that we're close to 26 feet.
I think you're right, about 26, 27 at the high point, yes, right,
right?
right.
So I don't think what is being proposed is dramatically different. I think you do have the 6-foot turret factor, which is a little different. But when I look at the elevations, I think that I'm of the opinion they complement each other nicely.
Right, but overall, it's 10 feet, it would be 10 feet higher, right? Because it's gonna be 35, 36 feet.
Well, the,
In that one part, in that one section.
Yeah,
your
Again, most
35
of the
feet
house-
is your max for the
It's
town.
tucked in, it's tucked back.
Yeah.
So that elevation is
Yeah.
coming back, it's kind of tucked in the side there, so it's kind of,
Yeah,
we do that.
tough
So-
one. Attractive design.
Thank
And I
you.
like the materials are nice. I think they're appropriate for the area. I think, the shingles and, how you plan to let it all just kind of fade naturally is great for that area. I think that's great.
Yeah.
So Bet, I'll turn it over to you. You probably have some questions.
okay, well, I have to make comments too. Thank you.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Um, No, I think this design is a big improvement on what's there now. And again, the house is set so far back. It is not visible at all from the road, barely will be the garage. So I think the design is appropriate. So is there anybody in the public making online wanting to make any comments?
Chair, this is Erica Brown. I don't see anyone in the public waiting to speak to this item.
Right. Bet, I have one other question. So as new construction, does this need a landscape plan to be submitted?
You
I
said
don't
it was
think for our
all
purposes.
natural materials. Oh, is that
We're
correct?
not disturbing anything around the foundation. The natural things that are there on the property right now in the photographs are going to remain, except for removing that deck and stuff. So it's just
Right.
natural. We're not putting in any sod lawns or anything. There's a walkway. If you look at the plan, go back to the plan shot, the site plan, you'll see the walkway, how it kind of just curves up to the steps there. Probably going to be, they have, brick there now. So,
Right. And no
right, but
planting?
basically it's just coming in. That's all. The driveway is kind of staying all natural. It's native stone. How far it comes back.
Mhm.
That other little patio staying kind of where it is, and it's just got some stepping stones going up to those steps where the stoop is in the front. And then the other one comes off to the existing walkway that's there. So the whole idea is we're not trying to disturb a lot because of conservation.
Right. No, but no like shrubs planted or beach grass or any of that kind of stuff around there?
Is going to be some mitigation planting done, but it's more to fix some areas in the back, which is more conservation, you know what I mean, to help certain areas that were kind of, I don't want to say damaged, but were affected maybe by the previous owners, not the new Heights, the Hempstead. So they're trying to get everything back naturally, and that's what they like. They like that whole natural vegetative look. So there's not going to be a sod lawn or mulch beds and new shrubs. I mean, they have a lot of nice shrubs. Some has to be pruned, some might be taken out, but they're going to be put back in that place.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
All right. Since there's nobody in the waiting room to make any comments, I think we need to close the public
Sure.
comment.
So this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to close the public hearing.
Leslie
And-
Wallace, I'll second.
Thank you. And a roll call vote. Brian Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy. Aye. So now we need a motion to approve the application, and we also need a motion to approve the demolition of the existing.
Okay.
So why don't we do the demo one first?
Okay. This is Wendy Shuck, and I move to approve the certificate appropriateness application for Jim Hempstead, 11 Freezer Road, Barnstable map 300 parcel 013 built 1985 to demo the existing structure as submitted.
Ryan Caholen, I'll second.
And a roll call vote. Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy, aye. And now we need a motion to approve the new
Yes.
structure.
Sure, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to approve the certificate of appropriateness application for Jim Hempstead, 11 Freezer Road, Barnstable, map 300, parcel 013, built 1985, to construct a new structure and modifications to the existing garage as submitted.
Ryan Caholen, I'll second.
All right, and a roll call vote. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Wendy Shaw,
Aye.
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy, aye. So this project is approved as submitted. Thank you very much
Well,
And
thank
good
you very
luck
much, guys. I
with your
appreciate it. Thank you.
construction and demolition.
Yes, thank
Thank
you.
you. Okay, thank you. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
All right. Our next application is for Michael Riley, 89 Vermolin Lane, Barnstable, map 334, parcel 028, undeveloped land for new construction of a single-family home with a detached garage carriage house and a pool house. So we need to open the public hearing.
Sure, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to open the public hearing.
Leslie
Caholen, I'll
Wallace, second.
A roll call vote. Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Wendy Schuck,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy. All right. Aye. So we need the applicant to discuss their project now.
Good evening, folks. This is Bill Riley with the Rycon Group. I'm representing Michael and Alexandria Riley for 89 Drumland Road. And what we propose to do is build the main house as you have in front of you, and a carriage house and a pool cabana with a pool. And any questions we can answer, we'd be happy to do so. Can you hear us, guys?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
yes. We're just looking at the pictures.
Wendy, would you
And I'm
like,
Mike, by the way. I'm sorry.
That's
Wendy,
okay.
would you like to discuss this?
Sure. So can you just walk me through the photos and what I'm looking at? So this is clearly, obviously, the front elevation.
Correct. Yep.
Then there's the back. And then the next page, is this the pool house? Is that correct?
No, those are the side elevations
Oh, okay.
of the main house. So
Oh, okay.
those two, it's basically shaped like an H. So you're looking at the two sides of the H.
The two wings.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
the wing on
Okay.
the right and the left.
And then is there a picture of the pool house?
There is. Those will be in there. I think you guys went
Is
by
this
the.
it? Okay,
That's the garage.
Yep.
that's the garage. Okay.
And then that's the pool.
Pool house.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Cute little dormers.
Yeah. So can we go back, Mom, Erica, to those first plans? Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm just trying to get my bearings here. So so the siding is it clapboard shingles?
It's white cedar shingles, and it'll be natural, not colored.
Okay.
Except for which is also on this. So the front entryway, there's like some accent walls. So the front entry where the door is and those two cottage style windows, That is all going to be white clapboard, and then to the left, right of that, which replicates the backside as well, that's going to be all white as well, which will stick back and give kind of a white accent wall with weathered shingles around the rest of the house.
Okay,
On those connectors, that is a 1x6 V groove at the bottom of those windows.
Yep.
okay, all
Yeah.
right. And then those windows on either side of the front door, those look large, huh? Those are big
Oh.
windows.
Yeah.
They're big,
Yeah,
but
they're pretty.
they're double hungs. Anderson
Okay.
400, 6/6, factory applied interior and exterior with mutton bars in the glass. So it gives a full divided light look.
Okay, and then the material on the chimneys will be stone, is that correct?
Fieldstone.
Fields, yes,
So,
correct.
yeah, it'll be fieldstone. Yeah.
Okay. Then there's some fieldstone, it looks like on the back on the left-hand corner there too, right?
On the fireplace, yes.
That's a fireplace there, okay.
Yep.
All right. And did I see something in here? Are you doing solar panels or no?
No, I mean, I would love to if there's a possible spot, but I think that's something we would have to revisit with you guys later if that's.
Yeah, you can come back, yeah, for
But
that.
this space, the front of the house faces south. So obviously we don't want to put panels on the front of the house.
No, it'll ruin the look of everything.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah, don't we know?
Yeah. It'd be a horror show.
So, okay, I'm good. Thank you, Bet.
All right, thanks, Wendy. Leslie, do you want to make some comments regarding
Yep.
this?
Can you go down a little bit? Okay. All right, this is the back of the house, right?
Correct.
Yep.
Well, I'm not so worried about that. Go down. Okay, so that stone, that's the fireplace on the right?
Yep.
Yeah. Is it?
Yes.
That's
It is.
Fieldstone.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
Correct.
okay. And it's fieldstone, all right.
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, I'm all right with this,
I love it.
yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Leslie. Ryan? Do you want to make some comments regarding this?
Can I go back to the site plan for a second? Thank you. So my personal opinion is a lot of house with a lot. However, my professional opinion is it is so removed from the rest of the area. I don't take any exception.
Okay.
Now, what about that pool?
Understand it's also all single story. There's no second story involved with this house whatsoever. It's it's a one-story house, no stairwell.
The total ridge height is 22 plus.
Yeah, 21, 22 feet.
And the pool, guys, is 16 by 32.
Right. And how many square feet is the house?
Hold on.
Approximately, I don't need exact, just
It comes out
approximately.
to like 3,000.
It's
a single story
3268.
or 3268.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's quite a mix of different styles homes in that area. You know, I drove around there today. I don't think it's kind of like outside of what would be appropriate for that area. Yeah, so I'm okay. I'm sorry, Bet, did I interrupt you? We haven't gone yet.
No, everybody can make their comments. I'll go last. For my comments, the two wings from is that a very is there any roof in those two sections connecting the two wings? That looks like that's some kind of a,
It's actually all flat roof in between, and there's skylights over each section. So the view that you're looking at right now, let me think about this. The right side would be the kitchen. So there's a 4x4 skylight over that, and then the left side, which I think you guys have the floor plans on there, is another skylight over the laundry room just to let in more natural light. So it's it is flat, but that's why there's those 2-foot decorative rails on each side. You know, it kind of gives it a look of attachment.
yeah. It's just a little odd to have those two larger sections on each side, and then proportionally it doesn't make sense to me. But in the area, and it's wooded, I don't think it's going to be all that noticeable there. And again, as I think Wendy mentioned, that there is an eclectic mix of houses back in there. So
yeah, and it seems like they're also all getting slowly updated in that area right now too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what are you going to do about landscaping?
I think everything
There is
on there
plan
as
that
far as
has-
planting
yeah.
and right.
Yeah, the planting is shown, and it's not going to be overdone, but most of it, the entire lot will be grass that's not hardscaped. I don't think we've got the planting spelled out yet, but you could see we're not overdoing it with plants.
Shrubs.
Yeah, no shrubs. No. No, I don't know what the right word is for that, but simple. It's just simple and pretty. That's what we're going for. Cape look style.
Okay. All right. Anybody, any other comments from the committee? I guess not. Is there anybody from the public, any neighbors or anything in the background wishing to comment? Erica?
Chair, this is Erica Brown. It looks like the Jansens would like to make a comment.
Okay. So then we need to close the public part of the hearing?
No,
No, I have somebody that wants to make a comment.
Oh, there is, sorry.
Yep, the Jansens. So if you want to unmute yourself, you can go ahead and comment.
just finding that mute button.
Yeah, I
Unmute
think it's
button.
heading. It'd be at the bottom left corner of your screen. Should have like a little microphone. There you
There
go.
you go.
Good evening. My name is Ron Jansen. I live directly across the street. The property involved was a subdivision I created in 1980. All of this property on Drummond Lane was property that was owned by my grandfather, who purchased it approximately 100 years or so ago, and we ultimately subdivided it. And at the time, we imposed certain restrictive covenants on the property, which have since expired. The covenant called for a colonial style architecture, and I know some of your members have been up and down the street, but I would suggest to you that the majority of these houses are colonial style houses. We are concerned, we certainly are not objecting to the ability of Mr. Riley to go forward and to build his home. What we're concerned about is the overall massing of the structure on the lot. I would suggest to you that the overall structure, including all the footprints, of the impervious surfaces, not including the driveway, is about 4,700 square feet, according to my calculations. The building itself, if I'm reading the plans correctly, is 85 foot wide on Drummond Lane, and perhaps the widest building on the street. The two wings that were alluded to certainly add to that. My house, which is across the street, has almost 2.5 times as much frontage, and I'm 74 feet, which is the biggest house on the street. So we are concerned about the massing. It is uncharacteristic for this neighborhood in terms of the overall size. It's a large house. We're concerned about the fact that the wings going out, extending out from the house, are flat. I can suggest to you that there are no roofs in our neighborhood that have flat roofs. I would also suggest to you that the house has several structures, as you can see on it. It has of course, the front elevation showing the house, the two wings, the two buildings attached to it, a pool house, and on top of the pool house, they have a garage, which is not attached. It's a large structure for this neighborhood. On top of that, not that it's an issue for you folks, it's perhaps more of a zoning issue. But 4 of our houses have basically been converted or are currently being used in this 14-house subdivision as Airbnbs. It's interesting to note that the abutting owner that used to own it, Keith Long, who was a judge in the land court, actually issued a decision saying that Airbnbs are not consistent with single-family use anywhere. Unfortunately, the legislature has done nothing to preclude that. As we know, Airbnbs are all over the place. So overall, we're concerned about the roof being flat. I believe somebody had alluded to, at least in the application, some solar panels, which we would have some concerns about. We're concerned about the massing and the number of the buildings going on. And obviously an issue which is not your issue, the potentiality for these additional structures to be used as additional living quarters for an Airbnb.
No.
And we also have some concerns when I look at the left elevation that Mr. Riley presented. If you look at that, that shows it shows what appears to be 2 barn doors going into the house.
Yeah.
I'm not quite so sure I understand what those are all about, especially where he has a garage going in back. The packet that we received from the town did not show the elevations of either the pool house or the garage, but I guess I can't really comment on that. But I guess my concern is massing on this lot. The lot has, I believe, 147 foot of frontage, but it shrinks back towards the golf course. And as you can see, at least on one of the sides would be the southern boundary line. It comes pretty close to hugging the setback requirements under our zoning bylaw. So those are my concerns. I'm glad to answer whatever questions the board may have.
I guess the neighbor has concluded their comments. Do the applicant want to reply, make any comments?
We would. We have been on Mary Dunn Road at 1469 Mary Dunn Road. We raised our family here. Mike and AJ very much wanted to be in this neighborhood that they were born and raised in. Having said that, there's no B&B down the road. This is going to be their home, and they're going to start their family there. As far as the massing, I haven't done the math yet, but I'm sure that the lot coverage isn't exceeding what is allowed. They would do that. Now that I know there's a concern.
And do you have a second story on your house, sir?
I do.
Ours is single, if that makes sense. If you times yours by 2, is that exceed the lengths?
No, but that's not accurate. The length of my house is, the basic house is 36 feet. My breezeway is 14 feet, and my garage is 24 feet. So that's 74 feet overall.
Yeah.
We're not talking square footage. We're talking lot coverage, which is a different animal.
Gotcha.
And we are not, as far as I know, exceeding lot coverage. If
I
we are-
agree. There is no lot coverage requirement in this particular zone. But nonetheless, the massing of the building is substantially greater than the majority, if not all, of the buildings on Drummond Lane. It is a large overall building.
Are you concerned that the house is not appropriately sized to the lot? That's your main objection?
My main objection would be those flat areas. I don't,
Okay.
I'm looking out, I mean, my husband's is what you just said, but mine is different. So that's
Okay.
the two main areas.
All right. So you don't like the flat between the, okay, and you think the house is too big for the lot?
Right.
Just so I
Yeah.
get, yeah.
That's correct.
And the two
okay.
flat areas are in the front, they're visible from the street. We will be
Yes.
looking right at
Yes.
them.
Yes,
And we don't have any other homes on the street that have that type of architecture.
yeah,
In addition to that, almost all the homes on that side of the street are set way back.
yeah.
And a lot of vegetation, landscaping and so on, so that it looks, they look nice. I'm concerned about those flat areas.
And how far forward on the road does this house will be very visible from that street, right?
Well, it will be, but I have to suggest that I think Mr. Riley has built the house the best he could from the point of view of the setback. His lot is very irregular shape. It's broader in the front than it is in the rear. It slims down considerably. So I think what he's trying to do is squeeze what he can legitimately on the house lot itself. But the lot has a very irregular shape to it in comparison to the other lots on the street.
Okay. I just want to see where you're coming from and where the Rileys are coming from. Okay.
And folks, the
I
house,
think-
the house sits back 67 feet off Drumland, and it's 50, I think it's 58 feet, I think is what I'm looking at, off of Oakmont. It's not like it's up on the street.
Okay.
in your
Yeah,
face.
we kind of push it back as far as
Yeah.
we could to make
Okay.
sure it's not something that's daunting. And even the heights of the building itself, it's like I wanted to make sure it looked like a cape that was added to. You know, it's like I wanted it to be squished down and not look daunting or like the trophy homes that we see around everywhere. Because I also frame and I work on a lot of these houses, and I just really like the simplicity of this and the natural look of it and the Cape style look of it.
I am a little bit confused by what was said because as I look at the application, it says roof measurements and it says length 85 feet.
Hold on, Ron. What's the total width? Can you see that, Mike? From here to here.
It's under the solar panel supplement.
What were the 2 points?
So the total width of that house is 62 feet.
Okay, I guess I'm confused about where it says roof measurements 85
Well,
foot.
wait. I'm not right there. Hold on.
On the solar panel supplement.
Or Ron, you're right. It's 84 overall. I didn't figure in the connectors.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, just as a matter of point of concern to the board, I believe the 84 feet and overall width of this house is much greater than any width of any other house on this particular street.
I think part of the issue is the configuration of the lot. It's almost like a giant piece of pizza, and it's and it it narrows significantly in the back, and that
Yeah.
makes it very difficult for them to get a home that of the size and the look that they're trying to get. So I think the lot is really part of the problem.
Well, I would respectfully suggest to you that, given the limitations of the lot, I don't think that should become a pretext or a justification for having a house that's this large.
Right. Erica, could you bring up the site plan again, just so we can look at that?
Guys, keep in mind, it's 3,200 square feet. Almost every house in that development, I guarantee, is somewhere in that square footage range or more.
I could add as well, as I've listened to this and I understand the passions that are associated with neighbors, right? Have to look at someone else's house. I get that. I get that from both sides of the discussion. But the area we're talking about, right? In my opinion, there are no historic homes.
Mm-mm.
To the point, that area of the district is really a mishmash of different architectures, different designs, different sizes, different layouts. And keeping with the mission of what this board is here to do, like I said when I offered my comments, personally, it's a big house. But professionally, for what I'm here to evaluate it on, I take no exception. That's all I have.
Thank you.
And I guess I would just ask, trying to find a happy medium here for those flat areas, on the house. Were there any other alternatives offered there? Anything?
We all have disagreements in design and the way things should look, but honestly, for natural light coming through in the kitchen area and in the laundry room area, I think what's better than natural light, first of all, and second of all, the railings are going to be gorgeous. I think once it's done, it's going to be, I think our neighbors that are on here now are going to end up being best friends. It's nothing that I'll ever hold a grudge against, but it's kind of, I'm just hoping that we can get through it and the trust is there, because it really is going to be a pretty simple, everything about it is cape on the front, cape on the side, cape on the side with two connectors. Same way every house on Cape Cod that's been standing so long has progressed, as you guys know and you've dealt with. People add on.
Yeah.
So it's more of a natural look than an overwhelming look, I think, in this area.
Okay. All right. I think at this point we can close the public hearing section.
Sure, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to close the public hearing.
Ryan Caholen, I'll second.
And a roll call vote. Leslie Wallace.
Oh, I hate these conflicts. Oh, I do. I hate them. I want everyone to be happy.
Yep.
This upsets me.
But this is just the motion to close the public hearing, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Keep thinking, Leslie.
Yep, I will. That's what I'm good at, Butch.
All right. All right. Ryan Caholen.
Aye.
Wendy.
Aye.
And Bette McCarthy, aye. So we've closed the public hearing section. All right. The next thing is a motion to approve the 89 Dromoland Lane application.
Okay, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to approve the certificate of appropriateness application for Michael Riley, 89 Drummelin Lane, Barnstable, map 334, parcel 028, undeveloped land as submitted.
Brian Cahola, I'll second.
All right. And then we'll have a roll call vote on that. Brian Cahola,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
and Bette McCarthy, aye. So we've approved this application as submitted.
Thank you very much, folks.
Good luck
Thank you.
and make friends with your, become
I
friends with your
know.
neighbor.
I feel bad about that.
Worried about it. Yeah. Yep.
Well, it's hard for people that have been there with the relationship they had with their grandparent owning the property and
Yeah, and I mean, I understand because I grew up here obviously too, and have lived here forever. So I understand like the worry of developers and people owning houses and they don't even live there and everything else that goes along with it, and they just rent it out. And I know that's, you know, looking at younger people, I would feel the same way in that respect. So it's like I understand it, but I also know that we're going to be golfing together very soon.
Go out and have a good stiff drink together.
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you.
all right.
Thank you.
Nothing better than at the end of a dispute when your neighbor says, you know what, it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you,
night,
guys.
folks.
Thanks,
All right.
Mr. Jansen.
Our next application is for Patricia Robert, 2656 Main Street, Barnstable, map 258, parcel 007, built in 1942 to construct a new addition to include a combination living room and dining room, interior modifications to the existing floor plan. May we have a motion to open a public hearing?
Sure, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to open the public hearing.
And may we have a second
Brian Cahola, I'll second.
and a roll call vote? Ryan Cahola,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
and Bette McCarthy, aye. All right. Would the very patient Roberts like to discuss their application?
Hi, Roberts.
Hi, sure, I'm Pat, and we've been before you before, and that was to replace the windows in kind and also to remove one window. So we've done that, and now what we would really like to do is to add a living room, dining room, combination room in the back of the house. It is a 4-bedroom house, but it didn't actually have a lot of living space in it because there's 2 bedrooms on the first floor and 2 on the second. So it had a very small kitchen and a really small living area. And we would like to sort of spread out with our kids and grandchildren. Where we're proposing to put the addition is a pre-existing deck. So we're not actually adding any increase in the footprint. And so before we came to see you guys, we went to conservation to see if they had any issues with what we were doing, and they didn't, and said we don't need to file a notice of intent. And what we wanted to do, if we get your approval to do the addition, is to kind of have it look a little bit like a barn. So it would feel somewhat more rural, and fit with the real, it's sort of a low capey style of the house, and then have some windows in the back because it overlooks a small pond. And so the windows in the back would overlook the
Doors.
pond, or door, excuse me, they're doors, not windows, they're doors in the back. And it was actually the architect's idea to add a little cupola on the barn. I hope that, or the barn area, which is actually living room, dining room, but I hope that you liked that, because I thought it looked pretty cute.
Yeah.
And
the barn door is it's
it's
just aesthetics. It's
it's-
not functional.
it's fake. It'll, we'll have windows there, but we were gonna create a barn door look to it.
Actually, if I might add, across the street, there's a barn
Right.
face,
Right.
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
Yes.
the
yes.
door. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
we're sort of pulling that on the other side of the road now.
Yeah. And so I don't know if you have any questions
What's the
or,
next? No, I guess. This was just-
they're
Right.
going to be Anderson 400, everything is going to be Anderson 400 series simulated divided light. So we will have grills on the outside of the windows and the doors.
and fused, and they're 7/8 instead of 3/4. It just gives it a better,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and black
Yep. The window
to match what we've done.
we
in
have
front.
white cedar shingles and then black windows with white trim, similar to what we've done in the front so far.
Yeah.
And we had the house, it was a mishmash of
Yeah.
different colors once we got the shingling and stuff done. So we had the house washed to try to make our neighbors happier about looking at
Yeah.
this house that was all different, the house of many colors or something. Yeah, that's what it looked like. But then we did have it washed, so it
And
blends together now.
the shed
Yeah.
door in the back is going to be reshingled also when
Okay.
hopefully we get this approval to do the addition. And the addition itself is all white cedar with white AZIC trim. It's
Great.
not boxed out. It just has a typical 2-level rake.
Make sure you paint the ASIC.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. Leslie, do you want to comment on this project?
You know what? I love that cupola. So good.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it looks fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Ryan, do you want to make comments on this?
I think it's fitting with some other structures in the vicinity, so I sometimes it's good to steal ideas. And a question on the cupola, because I'm a cupola fan as well, is it gonna be lit?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, even better. Yeah.
Wonderful.
And if we do a weather vane, we wanted to do either a heron or an egret or something because of the
that'd
pond
be nice.
behind the
All
house.
right.
Be very nice.
Although there's snapping turtles in the pond, so then
Yeah.
I thought maybe a turtle, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
No,
Yeah.
I think it's quite appropriate.
thank you.
All right. Wendy.
Yeah, I think it blends in really well with the rest of the house. The renovations that you've done already look great. Power washing the house. I thought they were new shingles. It looked new. Looked like it
Yeah.
was new shingles.
They did a really good job.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So I love the barn look. I love the cupola too. So no concerns here.
Okay. I think this house was terribly neglected. So,
It was.
yeah, commend
it's-
you for taking this project on.
Yeah.
So, yes, it's a fun little area, and
Yeah,
my
it is.
It's great.
my
And your
sister used to
neighbor
be
should be
my
thankful.
sister was a neighbor for 20 years, not
Really?
exactly next door, but the one next to that on the pond. So
Oh,
the one
okay.
down below, she used to
Yeah.
live there. So anyhow, I think it's very appropriate, and you've designed a nice addition. So
Thank you.
Do we have anybody in the waiting room? Any members of the public wishing to make any comments?
Chair, this is Erica Brown. I don't see anyone in the
Good.
waiting room waiting to make comment.
Okay, well then, we need to close the public hearing section of this application.
Yep, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to close the public hearing.
Ryan Caholen, I'll second.
Very good, and a roll call vote. Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy,
Aye.
Leslie,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy, aye. So we now need a motion to approve this application.
Sure. This is Wendy Shuck, and I move to approve the certificate of appropriateness application for Patricia Robert, 2656 Main Street, Barnstable, map 258, parcel 007, built 1942, as submitted.
Ryan Caholen, I'll second.
And a roll call vote. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy, aye. So
Great.
your project is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you so
And
much.
it should be fun.
Oh,
And
it should be.
thank you for your patience this evening.
Not at all.
Not at all. It's actually interesting. So,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you again, everyone.
Thank you.
And-
Thanks
All
for your
right.
patience.
All right. Good night. All right. Next we have a minor modification. And
I'm going to recuse myself
all
from,
right.
is this the Tales of Cape Cod?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, because I'm on the board, so I'm gonna recuse myself from both things.
All right. So the minor modification is for the Tales of Cape Cod, 3046 Main Street, Barnstable, map 279, parcel 071, built in 1774. To move the mechanical lift from the east side of the building to the south side. This will include evergreen plantings to screen its appearance and to redesign and reconstruct the south porch, redesign and reconstruct the brick walkway, and regrade and enlarge the existing parking space. So that is the minor modification. We don't need an applicant to discuss this. Do we have public comments for this, Erica?
No.
No, so we don't need to open the public hearing section. So I guess we just need a motion then to approve this minor modification.
Right. But can I ask one question? So I just want to be sure, because there were 3 pictures in there. I just want to be sure I know. All right, so that was the east side, so it's not that one, right? And it was. That was the east side, so it's not that one. I think there's one more, right? Here it comes, yeah, so it's this one. Okay, and so the lift is gonna go sort of to the left of the stairway, is that right? Is it right under there? Is that where the lift is gonna go?
The lift from the east side of the building, moving it to the south side. Yes, so that's where it would go.
Okay, can't even really see it, right? I mean,
It will be screened, it says, it
yeah,
will evergreen plantings to screen.
yeah. I mean, it was hard, it's hard to find it in the picture, so that's good.
Chair, this is Erica Brown. Gene is on the Zoom call too, and I believe he can provide a bit more information about this if you have any questions.
I'm happy to answer any questions. What I've tried to show in these slides is the kind of the evolution that we have gone through from our original proposal to this proposal.
And so the parking space over to, that would be on the right-hand side of this, that's gotta get like enlarged, I think it said right in the description, so that's gotta,
Yes, all of this is being driven by the requirement that the building be
Yeah.
made handicap accessible. And part of that requirement is that the parking space be handicapped accessible,
right,
which means large enough for a van and a loading, unloading area.
right. And on the east side was, I think I saw in there, the problem was that that walkway wasn't accessible or something, was that why you couldn't do it on the,
When we got the final engineering study and architectural plan, to put the building on to put the lift on the east side would have required those two retaining walls that you see there,
Oh, yeah,
which we thought would be obtrusive and inappropriate for the neighborhood. It also meant that that right-hand wall would be on the property line abutting the neighbor, and
Gotcha.
the neighbor objected to that.
great. So you don't have to do those retaining walls any longer, the two. If you move,
We don't need them.
that's great. I would agree. I think that was a great call. So I'm good. It looks good to me.
Okay, thank you, Wendy. Brian,
The ADA is challenging to adapt and maintain some historic reference to the property. So I think I remember the last time you came forward, I said that you did the very best you could to find the balance between accessibility, which is super vital, and still maintain a look that is fitting with the property. And I think once again, you've done that through some compromise and some back and forth. So really well done.
Thank you.
okay. And I also agree that it's challenging with the history of the building and the ADA compliance. So I think it's appropriate what you've what's been submitted. So then we need a motion to approve the minor modification.
Sure. This is Wendy Shuck, and I move to approve the minor modification application for Tales of Cape Cod, 3046 Main Street, Barnstable, map 279, parcel 071, built 1774 as submitted.
Ryan Caholen,
Thank
I'll
you.
second.
Thank you. Roll call vote. Wendy, Chuck,
Aye.
Brian Caholen,
Aye.
and Bette McCarthy, aye. So our next issue is an extension for the Tales of Cape Cod, 3046 Main Street, Barnstable, map 279, parcel 071, built in 1774, to construct a wheelchair compliant walkway, installed a mechanical lift and porch leading to a new accessible entrance, regrade and enlarge the parking space, redesign, regrade, and reset the brick walkways to the west and to the south entrances, reconstruct the south porch, and enlarge the section of the first floor east of the building by 6 feet to accommodate the accessible restrooms, enlarged kitchen, and the storage room. This was approved earlier, and we need now a motion to approve this extension.
Sure. This is Wendy Shuck, and I move to approve the extension, the request for extension for Tales of Cape Cod, 3046 Main Street, Barnstable, map 279, parcel 071, built 1774 as submitted.
Ryan Caholen, I'll second.
And a roll call vote. Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
and Bette McCarthy, aye. So thank you. That extension is approved as submitted. All right.
Thank you.
We now have a letter of correspondence from the Sandy Neck Beach Long-Term Coastal Resiliency. This is just an information. There's nothing to endorse or improve tonight. We can't do that. We just can listen to what they have proposed, so we can ask questions and see what information they have to let us know for this evening. So, Erica, are the folks from the Sandy Neck Coastal Resiliency available to
Yes,
talk?
Leslie Fields is here to speak to the project.
Okay.
Can you guys see me? I don't see myself on the, yeah, you can? Okay, I don't see myself. All right. Yeah, so I work with the Woods Hole Group, and we are working with the town of Barnstable on this plan for building long-term resiliency at Sandy Neck. And we have submitted what's called an environmental notification form to MIPA, which is a form that, you know, we need to submit because we've triggered some MIPA thresholds. And one of the comment letters we got from Mass Historical was that we should connect with this committee to discuss any concerns or questions you might have about moving that historical memorial, and potentially questions you might have about the new gatehouse area. So I can share my screen if you want me to show you a few things. I've got a few slides prepared that might just help educate you on what we're doing. Is
Love
that
it.
okay?
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. All right, can you see my screen?
No.
No.
Now we can. Yes.
Is that full screen mode or yeah, full screen mode?
Yep.
Right. Yeah, this is just a picture of the upper, we've got, you know, the bathhouse area here. This is what we call the upper parking lot and the lower parking lot. This slide right here shows all the areas where we are proposing to do work. So the first area here is the existing gatehouse area. I'm sure you've all have been there. So this, you know, we've got the garage and the existing gatehouse. The area labeled number 2 is the area where we're proposing to move the gatehouse. Right now, the gatehouse is vulnerable to flooding and was flooded twice during the 2018 storms. We're moving higher ground up here at the site 2. At site 3, we're making a very small changes to the entrance to the ORV trail. We're not really doing anything on the ORV trail. That's what 4 is. That's just existing. We're just going to leave that where it is. And then at 5, we are pulling the parking lot back landward, back into this area by about 75 feet. And I've got a couple of graphics of that just coming up. This just is a sort of a colorful image that on top of a aerial photograph, you can see the existing parking lot here and bathhouse. And the blue area is the area where we are going to build the new parking lot. This orange out here, yellow, will be restored to dune. So much of the area that's parking lot right now will be restored to a nice, healthy, protective dune out front. And then this orange area back here is just a very gently sloping sandy dune area that we need to build for protection of the new parking lot. And then we've got some problems. If you've been out there now, you know this end of the parking lot is called Lake Sandy Neck sometimes because it doesn't drain very well.
Right.
So we've got a vegetated swale in the middle of this new parking lot that will drain to a bioretention basin here. This is just engineering plan of the same thing. And then this maybe is more the parts you're interested in. So, you know, this is the existing gatehouse area, and this is the proposed new gatehouse area. It's about, the new area is about 350 feet up the road closer to the beach from where this existing gatehouse is. We're going to actually reuse, you know, the existing building. We're going to move it up the hill to this new location here. We are going to add a new exit lane on this side of the building. I think in the next graphic actually has, this one here is a better one. So here's the new gatehouse that we've relocated. This is the new exit lane. And then this is the existing entry lane. And then we've got a queue area for 4 cars. You know, if the parking lot's busy and you can't get in, then you can we can store 4 cars here waiting to get to the beach. They've got 3 parking spaces, 1 handicap accessible, and a ramp up to the new gatehouse. And we've got this memorial that is currently located at the existing gatehouse area, and we're moving it to the new gatehouse with a flagpole, and so it'll be, you know, almost identical to what's at the existing gatehouse now. There's just a couple of photos. Here's a photo of the flood in 2018. That's the existing gatehouse. And then just a couple of photos of the existing gatehouse. So, you know, this is what you see when you approach the building, and this is from the side, I guess, looking mostly to the west. So that's really all I had. I'm happy to answer any questions. I've never been before this committee before, so I don't quite know what questions you might have. I do understand that when we get to the point where we're actually, I believe we have to come back before you when we actually have the architectural plans for the new gatehouse and all. So we will be back before you, but because of the comment letter from Mass Historical, we wanted to just reach out to you now and you know, get any comments you have.
I have a question on the timing. When do you is this going to be done in stages, or
yes,
what is the first, is the parking lot the first part to be?
It is, yeah. So we're proposing 2 phases, and phase 1 would be done first, and that's the parking lot work, all the parking lot. So pulling it back landward and restoring the dune on the front side of it. That's phase 1. That will all be done during one winter. 24-25 is our goal right now, 2024-25. And then the next year we would be doing the work, you know, to move the gatehouse and establish the new gatehouse location.
So that would be 25-26?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, big project.
Yeah, project, yeah. It's
Now,
exciting.
the flooding for the existing gatehouse, is that coming in from the marsh? Is that
Yes.
where that water's coming from? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I guess I was thinking that you'd move it like closer to Route 6A to get away from the water, but I understand that that's probably like a whole eminent domain thing. You don't want to do that.
Well, there is some higher elevations, as I walked that route 3 times a week for about 5 years. My walking buddy couldn't do it anymore, but we would park down at the parking lot and walk past the gatehouse. And sometimes we would stop and chat with Donna, who was there, and buy shirts. But anyhow, there's another area that's a little bit higher elevation where the sidewalk crosses over. So
right. No, I understand. And then what's going to happen to the area from which you're moving the gatehouse? What will happen there? Will it just stay as is, or?
Let me share my screen again. I've got a graphic of that.
Okay.
Okay, so can you see this?
Yep.
Okay, so this is the engineering plan for the existing gatehouse area, you know, once we've moved the gatehouse. So the gatehouse right now is located about here. And so this is what it's going to look like. We've got, you know, the existing maintenance garage that's going to stay there. Here's the sidewalk coming in. All these existing parking spaces are going to stay there and remain. We're going to turn the area where the gatehouse was into additional parking.
Good.
And we've got sort of this exit lane here. This will be mainly for ORV users as they're leaving to air up, because we're going to have a compressor right here.
Oh, nice.
If you're not an ORV user and don't need to air up on way out, you can just go this way. You don't have to wait in line. And then we'll have a single entry lane coming in this way.
Right.
I have access to the marsh trail here, although we're going to try to restore an area that's sort of degraded right now by, you know, cars pulling off. So we'll restore this to natural habitat, but leave a little opening for the entry to the marsh trail.
Great. I'm a little bit sad to see the Lake Sandy Neck go, because we used to take our Jeep up there and drive through it to rinse it off after.
Yeah,
But plans look great.
yeah, thank you.
Great.
One thing that I think that we saw in that letter from Mass Historical was that, let's see, let me just, is that they're looking for some sort of correspondence from you on, what's going on here? On, you know, just your feelings about this. Let's see, I'm gonna pull the letter up. Where's the letter? It says, regarding the proposed relocation of the memorial and the design of the new gatehouse, the Mass Historical recommends seeking comments from the Old Kings Highway Historic District Commission in Barnstable and sending a copy of their comments to Mass Historical. So I don't know if that's bucking protocol from what you guys normally
Yeah.
do, or
Yeah, usually
I-
when you come in front of us, we
There's
have.
a
the
formal
discussion
application.
on- Yeah,
Right.
I
okay,
mean, you could say you did come in front of us, explained it, and your perception, it was greeted nicely, you know, something like that. But as
Okay.
far as the other thing, I think you have to come in front of us, because we all make, you know, a brouhaha about what we like, what we don't like, and off we go.
okay. Are
And
these
it'll-
meetings taped? Could I just
Yeah.
send them, I could
Yeah.
send them sort of a link to the tape if they wanted
Yeah.
to really watch it, they
Yes.
could.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yep.
Perfect.
It's on
And-
the town
On the website.
website. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll do that.
yeah. Yeah. And then you'll be, and they can have that, if, when we okay it, they'll have that too.
Yeah,
So, you know, it's a good backup for you.
okay.
Ryan, did you have any
Challenging.
comments or anything?
I did not. We'll see you when you have a design.
Okay. All right. Well, we appreciate the information. We thank you for coming before us.
You're welcome.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Yeah,
Good
see you
luck.
again. Bye-bye.
Good luck. All right. Our next item is to approve the minutes of August 23, 2023. Any comments regarding the minutes?
I thought they looked good.
Okay.
Yeah,
If there are no corrections or comments, could we have a motion to accept the minutes?
Sure. This is Wendy Shuck, and I move to accept the minutes from the August 23rd, 2023 meeting as submitted.
Ryan Caholen, I'll second.
Thank you. And then a roll call vote. Brian,
Aye.
Leslie,
aye.
Wendy,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy, aye. So the next item would be to adjourn.
All right. This
Quite
is
a night.
it's a long night for us, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been spoiled.
Right, we have. So this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to adjourn today's meeting, September 27th, 2023.
Ryan Caholen, I'll second.
Thank you. And a roll call vote. Leslie,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Wendy,
Aye.
and Beth, aye. Thank you, Erica.
Aye.
Thank everyone.